Nobody likes the prideful.
Nobody likes that, man.
Nobody.
The truth is not afraid to be questioned.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not. It's
I'm thinking
lies.
about COVID right now.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about COVID because the public questioned,
Which is fine.
and I feel like there was this pushback. Welcome back to the podcast. This is the #1 personal development podcast for healthcare and wellness professionals. I am Nene Pablo, host of this podcast, registered nurse, and creator of Nice Veins, Bro. We are talking about pride. The LGBT.
You better not put that in there because
we're not going to talk about that pride. We are talking about a different pride.
personal pride.
We're talking about personal pride today. Personal pride. Oh, by the way, if you're just listening to this now and you don't know who this is over here to my left, this is Anthony. I failed to introduce you on the last one formally because I just assumed that people knew who you were. But I think if they just listen to a random podcast, they would like to know who you are. So Who are you?
I am his brother.
Yeah, so he's my brother. Right?
I am his brother. I am an optometrist. And just glad to be back on the show.
Yeah, so different words to describe pride I've got here. There were so many. Conceit, ego, disdain, boastful.
So you do have notes.
Cocky. Yes, I do have notes. Yes, I have notes.
You said you didn't have notes today.
Well, cocky, haughty, cavalier, and snobbish. Some of those words we don't use them.
Cavalier.
But there's so many words that describe this, and I feel like it's because
there's so much of it.
Yes.
So there's different ways to describe people.
Yeah.
Conceited. That's another one.
I just said that.
You did?
Yeah, that was part of my list.
Oh.
That's okay. Okay, so if we had to create a definition for what it is, describe it, I guess. Let's not look it up. Mm-hmm. What would you describe this as?
Pride?
Yeah.
Man, I think it's someone who gets in their own way.
Yeah.
That's that's not very specific, but I think it's...
You're describing it, though.
I'm describing prideful people get in their own way and they mess themselves up. Mm-hmm. Because they're not allowing themselves to focus. Like an example is in athletics. I like sports a lot. And I was listening to this guy talk, and he was talking about if the ego of the athlete is kind of like taking over, instead of being focused on the task at hand, it can get in their way, and then now they're focused on outcome. I need to win just because I want praise or whatever, instead of how can I get better? How can I continue this task that I'm doing to the best of my ability? Yeah. And so they get in their own head, they get in their own way. It can a lot of times can lead them to actually losing.
Pride, when it's really poison, is when it affects your view and your treatment of others. If you are, it can be a poison to yourself too, but what I'm saying is like the way that you actually see it played out in the world and the great evil it is when it affects the way that you see others, the way that you treat others. And that's what you're saying, like it gets in your own way. And
because it stops you from learning. So take it into medical field.
Yeah.
Pride can get you to the point where I don't have to learn no more because I know everything I need to know.
Yeah.
Can pride be good and bad?
Well, there's the difference. Some people like to make a distinction between pride and prideful. Because if I say, well, I'm proud to be Puerto Rican.
Yeah, so am I.
I'm proud to be Puerto Rican. I'm proud to be American.
I'm surprised
I'm proud
that
to be
Texan.
I'm proud to live in Texas. Like there's many things that we can be proud about, but prideful or pridefulness is something that, man, is it's an actual poison.
The one thing you can get about that's why I asked the question, can pride be good or bad? Because sometimes there's that difference between pride and confidence. So a lot of confident people.
I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah, prideful people or confident people can sometimes come across as if they're cocky. So So technically, pridefulness is still bad. Pridefulness gets in your way. Confidence helps you succeed.
Confidence, actually, so many people I feel like lack confidence. You can have confidence enough to ask the question that you don't know something. Yeah. Pride will tell you, don't ask the question. Ooh, that's good.
That's a good one.
That's good. Thank you. Thank you.
Came up with it on his own.
Yeah, I came up with that just now. No, but like, yeah, confidence is gonna say, well, "I'm stupid. I don't know this."
Yeah, it's pride. Pridefulness does not have humbleness with it, whereas
Confidence
confidence
has humility.
has
in it.
humility in it.
Yeah.
So you're humble enough to be like, I need to learn to get better.
Our patients can absolutely see through whether we are speaking from a place of confidence in something. Like if you're teaching something to your patient, or if you're giving some kind of education, any kind of question that they have, you're able to answer, like quickly, and you're answering in a way of, this is the knowledge that I know, and I'm wanting to share because I want you to get better.
Right.
They can absolutely read through that. They can read through and then know if you're coming from a place of pride. Why? Because if they ask a question and you don't know something, you'll be like, honestly, I've never thought of that before. Versus someone who's, oh my gosh.
Or like, well, that's not just, we're not going to go down
Anyone
that
who
road.
questions, anyone who questions, like if you got a patient who's be like, I don't trust you, can you, and you take that and it's like, it hits your pride a little bit. You're like,
Like, why are you questioning me? I'm the doctor, or I'm the nurse.
or I
don't know why
I'm
that
the professional
accent came in.
I don't know why, that's weird.
Hey, no hate to those people that have that accent, but
I'm the doctor. What accent is that? Tell me,
I don't
please.
know.
Anyway, if you're professional, you're like, dude, I studied for this, and how many times?
well, because obviously they don't know as much as we do as healthcare professionals, right? How dare they question our ability?
Yeah.
But trust comes. The truth is not afraid to be questioned.
Yes.
The truth is not. It's not. It's
I'm
the
thinking
lies.
about COVID right now.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about COVID because there were so many moments where the public questioned,
which is fine.
and I feel like there was this pushback from the bottom all the way to the top. I mean, all throughout
cannot
all of
question.
healthcare. So you cannot question, you cannot doubt. And I think that's what pushed people away. When people talk about anti-vaxxers and all this stuff, okay, these people are questioning, and a lot of times they push it, very, very far.
Right. There's always extremes.
There's obviously extremes on both sides, but what I'm saying is that there's too many people. Too often we push these people who have questions about things, and then we push them away so far that then they do actually, start coming up with some
conspiracy
wacky
theories and things.
stuff. But it's because we don't sit with them and say, you know what? Here's what we don't know. Okay.
Right.
I know you're asking some questions and I can't answer them because this, that, and the other. But if we just say, no, it's safe, take it, trust me, because
This is approved by
no,
such and such, so we cannot question this such and such organization because they approved it. It's like science is about answering questions. It's about finding the answer. It's about questioning. That's what science is.
Yeah.
The scientific model is have a question.
Always question yourself.
Always question.
Yeah.
And then even when the question is completed and now that the study is over, we then have to question the study. Was it done correctly? Was it biased? You're
Did we
always
miss
questioning.
something?
Did we miss something?
Yeah.
And then we always continue to learn and always continue to improve. The truth stays the same. We just have to question it, and it will continue to be the same.
It is a challenge, though. I mean, I'm thinking about the professionals who say, okay, I've got 8+ years of this.
Yeah.
Of education. And how do I put all of this information for this person to understand and not say, listen, just trust me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're not going to understand the whole scientific thing.
You know what I'm talking
Yes,
about. There's been time where people
Patient
asking
education.
Patient education, Lord mercy. We're taking this a little bit to a different, but it comes back to the sense that it kind of hits your pride when someone doubts you and you have spent grueling nights.
They keep
awake
questioning.
To test and to answer, you know what I mean? To know and to pass boards.
It's
like
at some point.
Like at some point you want people to just trust you at your word. But that's not the way the world works, does it?
Yeah. Nope, it doesn't. Even though that we both have, there's ways to give in both sides, obviously, right? So at some point, you're going to know more than someone who didn't go to school for the amount of time you went to, right? That didn't study the books or read. You're going to know more, obviously. So at some point, they have to trust you. But even if they have a struggle to trust, we can't be prideful to the point where we get bothered by their mistrust. It's almost like, you know what? I understand why you don't understand. I understand why you don't understand. I understand why you're questioning. Let me try to dumb down the information that I know to help you understand.
Yeah, I mean,
And
you
then
don't,
do the best you can.
You don't want to say, let me dumb it down for you. You know,
Well, in your head, you're
yeah,
saying,
yeah, you're saying, okay, let me
make it simple.
Let me simplify these kinds of things so that you can
Right.
sort of, you know, and then sometimes, like you said, your confidence is gonna have you. You know what? Sometimes if they don't want to accept what you believe is true, what you know is to be true. If they don't believe it, then at that point, because you're confident in your own answers,
Right.
you don't turn blue in the face trying to get them to. No, you say, you know what? These are the answers that I can provide. You know, I'm willing to continue on this journey with you to on this patient relationship, whatever, to get you well. But if you continue to refuse, because there's a part on their end that has to trust. Like
Right.
you've got to trust at some point.
Yes.
You're not going to be the researcher out there doing all the tests, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're the patient. You kind of have to trust. But as soon as you see some kind of pushback from a physician, I think either physician, anyone in healthcare, if you see a dose of pride in them,
Yeah.
run.
Yeah. That's not a good sign.
It's not a good sign.
Find someone else because someone who questions you shouldn't hurt your ego.
Hey, I just want to thank you for listening. It means the world to me, especially because at the time of this recording, I'm still only a couple months from starting this whole thing. So if you're interested in helping me build this brand even more, please share this podcast on your social media and grab some merch from the website at niceveinsbro.com. Got some great stuff there for sale. Send me a DM on Instagram and share some encouragement, some love, and some hate. I will welcome that too. But don't be shy. Talk to you soon. I heard my stomach growl.
What are we doing? This is a sonograms.
Do you know what a sonogram?
It's the sound
Oh,
for babies.
no, it's not.
What is it
A
called?
sonogram is something that you go like this with lube.
Bro, sonogram is they use.
Yeah, but it's not it's not
Audio.
audio, it's an image.
Yeah, but the image is created by sound.
Is it sound waves?
It's sound waves.
Bruh.
I had no idea.
That's what a B scan is. It's sound waves.
Sound can
Let's look it
create.
up.
Wait, no, sound
This
can
is a
create.
great. This is a great point about pride, as the nurse and not prideful enough that he didn't know.
Exactly. I'm not proud of the. I'm a nurse. I should know this. I had no idea that sonograms were made out of sound, bro. Images?
Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, a graph representing a sound showing the distribution of energy at different
Okay.
frequencies.
Ultra. Look up ultra. Is it the same?
It's the same
So
thing.
it's an ultrasound that creates a sonogram.
Sonogram.
Okay.
The sonogram is the graph,
Oh my gosh.
basically. The image.
You guys, listen.
Are we gonna put this in there?
Yeah, because I'm low key a little bit embarrassed.
Fatality.
This is a time where pride is
We're
out the
testing
window.
our pride right here because let me tell you, I should know this. I knew what they like. I could explain it to a patient. Oh, they're gonna take a picture of your belly. You know what I mean? But I didn't know how it worked. I didn't know that it was audio.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know it was sound waves.
Yeah.
Bro, nobody likes the prideful.
Nobody likes that, man.
Nobody. And we live in a place where pride is celebrated. Like, I'm not trying to just. How do I say that?
You're not trying to attack any group or anything.
Yeah, I'm
We're
not
talking
trying to
about
attack
pride
the group.
in
I'm talking
general.
about pride as a concept.
Yeah.
It is not a virtue.
It's not.
Pride is something that is detrimental.
Yeah. And it's
Like
praised nowadays.
When nobody,
unfortunately.
yeah, and unfortunately today, pride is this thing that people sort of say like they congratulate people.
Yeah.
Pride, yes, it alienates people away from you, and when you get isolated, the more you get isolated, the more you're at risk for many things.
Yeah. The thing is also with pride is that it excuses the lack of self-improvement.
Yes, because it's like accept me for who I am, the way that I am.
I don't need to
I am
improve.
perfect the way that I am. And I know that there's extremes, right?
Right.
We're not trying to say that you shouldn't.
Be self-confident.
You shouldn't be self-confident, or that you don't love yourself, like self-loathing. We ain't talking about that at all.
We're not- Humble and safe self-hate is not the same.
No, absolutely
You need to be
not.
confident in yourself.
No, yes. Yeah.
But you can't be prideful to the point where self improvement is not a thing.
Yeah, we ought to make a podcast on self-confidence because that is key.
Yeah.
That is a beautiful thing. I'm all about the self-confidence. Going outside of your comfort zone requires confidence. We were talking about that on the last podcast that we were together. The going out of your comfort zone requires that confidence.
Yeah. Well, even if you try to take those risks, it's
Yeah. You
it's
could take them.
irrational.
It's irrational stuff because
you don't think about it
Yes.
well enough. Because if you're confident, you kind of think about, I want to move here outside of my comfort zone. How can I get there safely? How can I get there with the best case scenario? Pride is like, I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to jump somewhere, and it's going to be a lot more dangerous.
How do we practice humility?
How do we practice? That's a good question.
So this is kind of the segue as we close, but finish the podcast. But I was going to say that pride is if you're a Christian out there and you're listening, pride is the original sin.
Yeah.
People think Eve was the one that went out there, and then gave it to Adam and he sinned too. No, listen, pride, because Lucifer, wanted to be like Jesus, wanted to be like God. And that right there tells you he was thinking more of what he was, more of himself than what he really was. And he forgot the fact that God had created him. Mm-hmm. He was a created being. He was not everlasting like God. And so the point that I'm trying to make is when we practice humility, it is saying, I do not have all the answers. I am not the end all be all. I am not the Alpha and the Omega. There is something outside of me that is greater. And for the Christian person, maybe you're listening to this, you don't believe in God and stuff, and that's okay. Just hear me out. But for the Christian, the humility concept comes from, here is a God who has created me, so much greater than me, and that puts everything in perspective. It's not just other humans probably know more than me in certain areas. It's that we are all subject to death. We are all subject to some pain. We are all subject to, some of the sorrow that we have. But there is a creator God who's much bigger, much larger, and he is, determining the times. Yeah. He is outside of those different concepts like time and space and all these things. So that if that's not a humbling feeling,
that's the place to start for sure.
Yeah. When you consider the cosmos.
You look at how small you are compared, because the ego thinks you're the biggest thing ever. All you got to do is look at the stars, look at the universe, and then it's like, who created that? And then you just keep going up that mind or that thought, and it's just like, wow, I'm actually very small.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean small, insignificant.
Mm-mm.
It just puts you in perspective that pride, it can get in the way to the point where you can lose it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people don't realize that. They think that, let's just say it straight up. Pride is a sin.
Pride is a sin. It's the original sin.
It's the original sin. It's wrong. And people don't really think about it as being as serious as it is.
Nah, dude.
And a lot of us are prideful without even thinking about it. And it creeps up in me, creeps up in you, creeps up in everyone.
Everybody person has a little bit of that.
Everybody has a little bit.
Yeah. Everybody has a little bit of it. And that's the sadness, is like perfect humility is what Jesus practiced. Can you imagine a person with no pride?
He doesn't mean that you have to let people walk all over you.
No,
Jesus didn't do that.
No. And he was confident.
But it's
his
confidence.
mission. Oh.
It is confidence.
He was confident, bro.
Just read it, bro.
And he started ministry at 33, or was it 30?
30. No,
I was at 30. Yeah. At 30, he's out here going preaching all this random stuff that everybody rejected. Like, that requires confidence, not pride. Mm-hmm. He was not arrogant in his message. Anyway, this quickly became a Bible study, but y'all, the way that we approach our professions should be, it's individuals caring for other individuals, not, we have it all together and we have all the answers, and let me just kind of like help you get out of the hole that you're in.
We're not gods.
We're not little gods running around, with credentials. It's like, no, like we went to learn. We had grueling, we had tough training. We went through tough training for us to learn certain things simply to help other people who are in need. Full stop. Full stop. You know, whether they deserve it or not.
That's a whole nother podcast, right?
That's
there.
a whole other podcast.
Whether they deserve it or not.
Whether they deserve it or not. But it's rooted in having pride or not. Pride is the one that's going to tell you they don't deserve that. What are you talking about? Why are you going to get your hands dirty in that? You know, we want to take care of the clean patients. The people who have all of it together.
Who can pay.
Ooh. Listen, if you have more to say, please drop it in the comments. I love to read comments.
Yeah, the good ones and the bad ones.
The good ones and the bad ones. If you're listening to this on YouTube, comment below. If you're listening to this on a podcast platform, do me a favor. Please do me a favor. Drop a 5-star review on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts and anywhere else that you listen to your podcast. We love the feedback and we take it seriously. So thank you for joining us today. This was a little bit longer than what we planned, but hey, it works.
It was pretty good.
Remember to be a positive force and influence within healthcare and society. Que Dios me los bendiga. When I would listen to podcasts before I became a podcaster myself, I didn't realize how much leaving a 5-star review helped. And so now on this side, I just want you to know that it really does mean a whole lot when people review and share the content. So if you enjoyed it, please share it with somebody and leave a 5-star review on whichever platform you use, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. And if you're interested, you can also find us on social media at Nice Veins Bro, or shop online at niceveinsbro.com. My personal stuff you can find under Nene Pablo, which is spelled NENEPABLO. I spend most of my time on YouTube making vlogs and videos and on Instagram. So I would love to connect with you. And remember, be a positive force and influence within healthcare and society. It's all about God, wellness, and purpose here. Thank you for listening.